my grandparents lived down in Oakland County, in Rochester, and we were going down to do a grocery run for them, my mother and I, because they're elderly. My grandpa has some history of lung issues, so we didn't want them leaving the house. And our family members, we kind of all took turns buying their groceries and going out and getting them household essentials. So it was our turn, and we were down there at a local Kroger. And when I tell this story, it just blows my mind how everything really lined up perfectly for this event to happen. So I'm very familiar with the store that I was at. I shop there often, but this particular day, I couldn't find some of the things on the list that I was looking for. So it took me a little bit longer than it normally would. And once I finally got everything, we were leaving the shopping center. And as we were pulling out, there was a man who was walking into one of the pharmacies down the street, and he was kind of wobbling a little bit funny. He looked like he might be intoxicated, and then he just collapsed to the ground. And immediately I called 911, got a hold of the EMS personnel, and they said, "Are you able to go assess him for injuries? Can you check if he has a pulse?" And immediately I was like, yes, I can do that. With the pandemic going on, I put my mask on, I put on a pair of gloves, and I kind of ran up to the man. His face had been turning bluish purple at that time, and I checked him. He had a laceration on the back of his head he was bleeding from, and he unfortunately did not have a pulse at that time. So I updated the emergency responders on what was going on, and they said, "Do you know how to do CPR? We need you to initiate CPR immediately." So I said, "Yep, I am trained in this. I can do it." And I performed CPR on him for about 7 minutes until the EMS first responders arrived to the scene.